Good day, it is Stephen Davids here, and in this video I want to discuss with you how to use the resource material label to your advantage and also discuss what it is. I also will discuss it in relation to ProjectLibre. The resource material label you find if you go to the resources tab on top, and then you go to the resource spreadsheet. And in the resource spreadsheet, you will see the various columns: name, RBS type, email address, material label. In this session, we will discuss the material label. For the sake of convenience, let us move it closer to name, and let us also then make the project name bigger. The material label is the units of measurement for material resources in which you usually find them, you order them, you sell them, or you use them. The label depends on the type of the project. For example, you get bags of shirts, crates of eggs, dozens of eggs, kiloliters of fuel, liters of fuel, boxes of pens, reams of paper, packs of teacher material, tons of sand, cubic meters of sand, etc. And here we have the material label and various labels that you can get. Examples of them is sand, cubic meters, tubs of paint, boxes of paper, packs of material, bales of wood, of clothes, etc., boxes of pens. The fact that you get the material label necessitates then that when you have the name, you must describe the name a little bit better than usual. You can't just say sand. You must say, for example, Philippi sand, or whatever type of sand, paint, royal blue 25 liters, so that you know what it is containing in that material label. The reason why you describe it is because the material label depends on what the supplier provides and how he sells his product. You cannot buy one ream of paper if your supplier sells only in a stock. You cannot go, although you want 1 liter of royal blue paint, you cannot order 1 liter because your supplier only provides you in 1 tub of 25 liters. Also remember that because you must describe the name more in detail, try to make it brief and short as possible, because this space, when you touch a resource, you must at least be able to see what is going on. For example, if we go to the tasks and for any resource, suppose we want to attach in any resource, let's just here and assign the resource. You will see there this space is very limited, so you cannot type too many things in here. At least you must just be able to see the very start and get a grip of the number of units that you will then of course type in. And in this specific case, I also put in here the pens, because suppose you have various types of pens: blue pens, black pens, red pens. Then type it in such a fashion that you will be able firstly immediately to see pens, blue pens, although you can't be able to see the rest, pens, black pens, pens, red pens. So this is the way I then write my things to distinguish similar and closely related materials. Depending on the type of project that you have, I have a soft project that I manage. You may need to write and use your own material labels. For example, to rent a lecture hall or something, I write a rent unit. Or for flight tickets or for foods and drink sustenance things, I use a label and created the label trip. So I know for 1 trip, this is amount of things. 2 trips, this is amount of resources I will need. As I said, the material label depends on the smallest units of the material that is available for you. And just remember that it's only material resources that have labels. Work resources do not have labels. Now, how do you use the material label? The material label helps you in your buying decision. For example, if you only need a handful of straws but you can only get a bale, is it still prudent to buy that bale? Or must you not maybe look to alternatives that you can use? So, for your transport purposes, if you get a ton of things, if you get the big things, it shows you, man, how can I get the things to wherever I need it? Must I hire a transport vehicle, or can I only go and get it myself? Another of the uses is in terms of the delivery. Is the vehicle that will come very heavy, too big? Will it damage my paving? Will it be able to come into my property? Do I need help to unload it in terms of the weight and the quantity? Knowing the material label will also help you in terms of the storage. Do I have enough space to store these long pieces of wood? Or the cement outside, and the cement must be stored in a dry place. Do I have the cover, and suppose it will rain, take the rain into consideration. So those things in terms of security. If the items are too big and it must stand outside and don't have safe storage, do I need extra security arrangements? Also in terms of the scheduling. One carpenter cannot install all the wood I want to order today. Maybe I must reschedule the delivery, and then also delivery cost comes into play. What am I going to do with the leftover items? There will be leftover items because you must make provision for wastage in any project. Or how am I going to use them? Will they just stand there? These are the ways that you use the material label in your project. Thank you very much for watching this video. We love constructive comments and criticism. Please like, share and subscribe.